Hello, welcome. Welcome to the Monday's afternoon live. For me, it's midday actually. So, hello, welcome. Join for another live, for another piece of knowledge about holistic well-being embodiment. Let me know if you can see me well, if you can hear me well. This is very important. I will wait a moment for people to join. Okay, let's start. So today's topic is embodiment through immersion in the nature. So I am continuing to live in the quite remote place. It is a place that is 2 hours, I think, more or less 2 hours walk on the beach from the closest town. By car it's probably 45 minutes, about an hour, depending if it was rainy or too dry, because actually it is not as I learned the other time when I came, this time when I came, and it was not the first time that I came to this place, I found out, the driver told us that actually it is not great when it's only dry. Then the sand becomes really difficult also to drive, and the cars get stuck as well, the same way as when it's too wet, right? And then they get stuck in the mud. So again, like in life, it's always everything in the balance. So it has to be in the perfectly balanced way. Not too much sun, not too much rain neither, right? So this is also what nature basically teaches us. But before I dive into the topic, I want to welcome all the new followers. You're coming, like so many of you came recently, and I am really, really delighted to welcome you. I am really happy that you are joining and starting your embodiment journey. Your life is about to change forever, for good, and you will reach the level of vitality and well-being that you've never experienced before, and that you didn't know it was possible. Well, actually, you were thinking that something is wrong, right? Because I assume that if you're here, you probably were not satisfied with where you are at the moment, right? Because otherwise, why would you like to change something? So something started to disturb you, right? Like something was not right, and you wanted to make it better. This is at least how it started for me as well, right? Like I was considered healthy person, but I knew that health is supposed to be something more, and also what I want from life. And I was completely a city bug. I was growing up, and I was completely a city bug. I couldn't imagine living in the countryside. I couldn't imagine living in a small village, not even speaking of remote place, maybe like this, or, even wilder kind of place, right? And also I grew up in Central Europe, so the climate there is very different. It's very cold climate in comparison also to this one. Not the coldest in the world, obviously, but most of the year it's cold, and it's rainy, and it's gray. So you are not really exposed to the sun. Then if you live in the city, you spend so much time, I at least spent so much time inside in the buildings, so I was not really exposing myself enough to the sun. So these are all very, very important factors. And the journey has its pace. So when I started to dig more into what it really means to be healthy, and it for me started with healthy diet, or trying to figure it out, because what is healthy diet, because out in the world there is so many informations, and it's so easy to get lost in all these contradicted informations, where one day you hear that, oh, you should eat meat, the other day you should be vegan, then you should be keto, then you should be completely cutting out of carbs, or maybe proteins, or maybe fats are not good or are great, constant confusion. And about diet, I have kind of like, when I came to this place again, and it's already 3 weeks, I think, right? It's 3 week or 3rd week is starting. I'm losing even more track of time. Like, I'm not really following the time. I only know a few things, like, okay, I have live at 4 or at 12 p.m. On Mondays. I give classes. I have meetings with clients, but somehow I'm not perceiving the time very linearly. It's not that, oh, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Somehow I know which day it is, but I perceive it completely differently. Same with hours, also here I can already read the time of the day better just by observing the sun. So when I'm on the beach especially, and when I want to stay away from my phone, this is like my sacred time. And also I don't have, kind of luckily maybe, that I didn't manage to have mobile data on the phone. So I end up going to the beach, and I have to stay away from my phone. So actually I started to cherish these moments, and it's good because otherwise I would be working on the beach as well. So otherwise I still work, because in my mind I recently said it, that when you go if you are self-employed, or if you are doing your own business, if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, so you basically switch from a job. Usually it's 9 to 5, you switch for 24/7. And I completely agree. Besides, I've never been a 9 to 5 worker, but I always was just working all the time since I remember, because I was always passionate about what I'm doing. So when I was a dancer, I basically was sometimes just dancing when I was sleeping. This is what is embodiment as well, right? I mean, it has to be healthy, but in that case, also the things I'm talking about to you are also, I'm dreaming of that. I go to the beach, I think of it, what I want to share, how I can share it better, how I can inspire you to really benefit, because it's not about making it some fancy, chicy things, expensive devices, or maybe supplements, or all that stuff that you don't need. Really, you don't need. Everything comes to simplicity. And this is what nature teaches us. Nature teaches us simplicity. If you observe animals, if you observe the plants, do you really think that you are less evolved than a plant? That's a very good question that I heard yesterday, and it just came to me, and I wanted to share this question. I went to a talk about fasting, about water fasting, and it was basically revolving around these topics, that everything is in the simplicity. So with the time, you are just reducing the noise. So coming to the nature and living in a remote place, or even just creating yourself kind of like a secluded place, even if you are in the city, but just like taking care of this space where you can get in connection with the nature, it is helping you to reduce this noise, so that you can really start to hear yourself. And this is what is called intuition. You can call it whatever, but when I'm talking about intuition, this is about listening to your inner voice. And in order to listen to it, you need to first hear. You need to hear it first. So you need to hear it in order to listen to it. So how do you make it that you can hear it? Because very often when you are so overwhelmed with everything that is happening in your daily life, when you are in the city, when there is so much noise, literally and metaphorically, if you are eating highly processed food, this is all muting your voice, your inner voice, your intuition. This is all muting it and covering it with some distraction. And this is the moment where confusion enters, and this is the moment where you don't know anymore, and you just basically start to follow whatever somebody tells you. Maybe has some title, maybe has some letters and dots between their names, and that makes them entitled to give you advices. Who really knows this technology of your own body, of your own creation, of your own being? Who can really know it better than yourself? Who can know it better? Nobody, really. Not any doctor, not anybody. It's only you that can really, by starting to investigate, by starting to experience what is really possible within your skin, within your body. This is the moment where you can really start to hear the inner voice, your inner wisdom. And they're starting doing right things that are helping you to expand, and they are helping you to really use the maximum potential that is possible from that amazing, absolutely amazing, unbelievably highly evolved machine or creation, which is your body. And nature helps you to do it beautifully, because, as I mentioned already, it is reduced. The noise here is reduced. So I will tell you from my experience, this is actually the thing that I was missing the most. One of the things that I was missing the most, except of the hot weather. That's an obvious one. Except of the hot weather, I was missing the sounds. And there are very specific sounds. I think I was already posting them on my stories, but I will do it again, and then maybe I do a reel with that. The cicadas. They are always switching on during the sunset time, and suddenly you have like these amazing sounds that they start to make, and then they continue throughout the night. Here it's not that intense, at least to my ear. Actually, they are so calming. And I love to fall and sleep to these sounds. This became my lullaby kind of thing, and I always associate with this deep relaxation. And actually, this is scientifically proved that the sounds of nature, which also includes the birds are in the morning mostly, but also throughout the day today they are not that loud, but the other time you could hear them very distinctively. And also all the other other waves, other sounds of the ocean, or of the wind, or the shh, all the sounds like that. Basically everything that is produced by the nature, right? Everything that the nature is naturally just what is happening. All these sounds are influencing us, and they are helping to lower the cortisol level. And stress is hormonal. This is chemistry. So they're helping to lower the cortisol levels, which is helping to go into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the nervous system responsible for rest, relaxation, and digestion. In opposed to the sympathetic nervous system, that is responsible for fight or flight reaction. So you are basically stressed when you are in the fight or flight. And the problem is if you are in this state for too long, if you are in this state permanently. And this is the case for most of the people these days, for most of the people in the cities, for most of the people who work in the stressful conditions, who basically created this stressful environment. Because remember, everything is your creation, everything around you. Because everything around you is your choice. The tragic part might be that it's subconscious choice. And this is the thing, you think that it's not your choice when it is happening on subconscious level. And the subconscious level is just some old programming. It also might come, and actually it is coming also from your ancestors. So you are living the story of your parents, of your grandparents, or grandparents, and etc. And you are not even aware of it. So the first win happens when you start to be aware of it, and then you start to really take full ownership and really start to take responsibility, or you start to go into this direction that, wow, okay, I'm doing things because I just run on some autopilot and I don't know why I'm doing this, because somebody told me, because I heard it from somewhere, I heard it from somebody on the internet. I know I'm the one talking here on the internet as well. Because it's a very beautiful tool. It is very empowering, but it can be also very destroying. Like the power of destruction is also proportionally equal to the power of how empowering it is. Like remember, it's always the same thing can really help you to fly, and the same thing can literally kill you. So everything has to be used wisely. But coming back to the immersion in the nature, how it is helping us. So the questions I will answer in the end. I see that you're answering some questions. I will finish these thoughts and then I will get into the questions. So it is helping to lower the cortisol, the sounds of the nature, and therefore it is helping you to be in the parasympathetic nervous system, which is what we want. This is what you want, even if you don't know it. But now you know, and this is what you really want, because this is when the healing can start to happen. This is when also, and also in the same time, this is when the expansion can happen. And here, we are on this earth to expand. If you didn't know it, now you know. This is kind of universal thing for humans. Everyone wants to expand in some ways. Everyone has their own way of expanding. So again, here the nature comes. Like, nature is already so expanded, right? Like, this is the manifestation of the universe, like what we call the reality. And even look at this. If you have the cities, if you have human creations, right? If there comes the natural force, there are no buildings, there are no cars or anything like, the buildings, the constructions that are 100% resistant to the force of the nature. Of course, I don't know everything, but you know what I mean. In most cases, if there is some earthquake, if there is tsunami, if there is some tornadoes, volcano erupts, right? Like, this is such a great force, right? Like, it's unstoppable. You can't stop it. We have the same force, right? And then again, we can use it either for growth or either for destruction, because nature, the same way, it is nurturing us, right? Like, we can, if we live in the symbiotic way with the nature, it is nurturing us. Same with the sun. The biggest lie that has been told to us is that sun is destroying us, that is, or like the story that is causing cancer. No. Like, this is something, this is again the chaos and the confusion, because I talked already about it, but I'm gonna say it one more time, and probably many more times, because I see this confusion so much, even here, like here it's the eco-village, so it is attracting certain type of people, but then everybody has their talent, everybody has their own purpose, so not everybody is interested per se in health, for example, or holistic well-being. There are some artists, so they do their craft. So then there would be people that don't really know how to sustain life properly, how to really glow, how to really shine. And this is again like really taking all the layers down and figuring it out for yourself, finding a pleasure in figuring it out for yourself, how your body works and how it functions and what it is capable of. Because I promise you, the deeper you go, it is more fascinating, and you are discovering the strength, the energy that is completely like you didn't know of it. And this change especially happens on raw diets, or at least vegan first, mostly raw, but mostly raw vegan. This is the change when you can experience this. And this is again being in symbiosis with the nature, because what is the best nutrition? It is the one that grew on the sun, right? In the sun, like here in the tropics, where it's just so present, so powerful, and you can literally nurture yourself with the sun. It is also biggest misconception that we need actually food to eat all the time, and that we need this to sustain the life. That's also not true. And also coming back to the comparison, that you really think that the plant can stay in the sun. Yeah, wrapping up all the examples that I was giving. So the lie about that the sun is actually harming us. No, the cancer that might appear in your body, it's your own body's creation. It's your own mind creation. That's it. Sun has nothing to do with this. Sun is actually here to nurture us. So then the sun is nurturing the plant. And the plant stays there all the time, right? This plant stays there. It is with the sun, with the wind, with the rain, and is actually being nurtured by all these conditions. So, food for thought, right? Like, think of it. Really start to observe. What if you said, even if you're in the city, just go to the park. Go to the park, sit there, and meditate on the connection. What is meditation? It is observation. So observe. Sit there for as long as you can and observe the movement, observe how things are changing, how the plants are moving with the wind, or how they are switching, the directions, maybe in the orientation to the sun. Even if it's winter, go there and allow yourself to feel this cold. Allow yourself to feel alive. I just came back already some time ago, but in the morning I go to the beach. I go in the morning, I go in the afternoons, sometimes twice a day, and it's the place. These are the moments where I'm in the sun, when I feel the wind, when I am barefoot on the ground and I can feel the texture of the sand. Or even here, the paths here in the village are mostly in the sand, but they have some leaves sometimes, or some other kind of like part of wood or coconuts, stuff like that. And it's just such a pleasure to really be able to feel all these different textures on the ground. It is like a massage all the time that I'm getting whenever I walk. And this makes my walk really embodied, and this makes my walk really pleasurable, and it is expanding my sensory capacity. This you can also do in the cities, except that concrete is not great surface to do basically anything, because also during summer it just gets so heated that you can't do anything with it, right? Another thing to live in the nature, to have the trees around you, that it is leaving you in a great thermoregulation. Also, it is connected with the diet, so the more raw you eat, your body temperature becomes naturally the basal body temperature gets lowered. Therefore, your perception of the temperature in the outside is you are becoming basically more tolerant to both the heat and the cold. This is what I am experiencing. So it works both ways. So I can deal with hot amazingly. This is my preferred temperature, right? But then also with the cold, I don't have issues. I can go also to ice baths and stuff like that if I want, and it's completely fine. So it's a misconception. Well, it is because in the Ayurveda, right, or TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, there is different approach. This is different approach to eating, and they have this approach of that things that are making your system colder or hotter. I don't really agree with this approach if it comes to the food that you should be eating from the perspective of what your species should be eating. So I know that human beings, we should be eating fruit and leaves and some nuts and maybe sprouts because this is what we evolved to be eating. If you compare the digestive system to the other animals and also our teeth, we are supposed to be eating fruit mostly. We are frugivores by nature, and this is what is serving us the best. This is also the people that live the longest, and this is also from the spiritual perspective. This is something that is helping you to evolve and grow. So the decision is yours, obviously, but you need to be informed. You should be informed about what are the choices and where you want to go with this. So this is all with the connection with the nature, how you start to interact, because again, we are nature, right? This is also like, I maybe should start from this, that we are nature, so we are part of it already. It is just this separation that was happening more and more and more, and in the end the separation just make us forget. And that's why it is easier to go and live in the nature and to go through all these processes of healing initially, and then from when you heal enough, then you can go into the growth process, and the nature is really fueling this naturally and beautifully and powerfully. Okay, let me see the questions. I need to scroll it back. Okay. Hi, nice to see you again. How does spending time in nature help us reconnect with our senses and regulate our nervous system? Okay, so I said already about how it is regulating our nervous system, and I can add few things on the sensory reconnection. So as I mentioned already, when you are, the more you are putting yourself out there to experience the elements, this is what I call it, right? Like when I said what I'm doing in the beach, but you can do it anywhere, with any temperature, with any weather basically, and you allow yourself to stay in this rain, because another disclaimer, you're not getting sick from getting wet from the rain. No, it's your system. It's your own system that is that's something. The stress also is, for example, lowering the strength of immune system. So it might be different aspects, but most likely it is from stress that is causing the inflammation, that is lowering the functioning of the immune system. So then it doesn't matter if your system is strong, if also your mind, if you programmed yourself that you are healthy, that you are strong, that you are never getting sick. It's completely possible. You need to program yourself. Once you program yourself, you are strong. You are strong and you are never getting sick. So it is simple like that, as that, not necessarily easy depending where you are, right? But just program yourself that you need to program yourself or reprogram, and then you will get into this habit of reprogramming. And also this expanding the sensory capacity is helping with this a lot. So So the nature helps with this a lot, because it is allowing the body to experience more, to sense more. This is all about sensing more, allowing yourself to sense more. So literally, the more naked you get in the nature, then the stronger you are becoming. So this is how it is helping us. Another question: why do you think modern life has disconnected us from our natural instincts, and how can immersion in wild environments help restore balance? I also mentioned this already, that why it happens. Because of control, some type of control. Whoever wants to control something, the more instinctive we are, the more responsible we are, the more independent we are. Because, what kind of authority over me has a government, for example, or any other, let's say, any kind of administration? That's coming from the government. Let's stay there with this example. What kind of authority over me they have if I'm never getting sick? I don't need any insurance. I'm not paying for any health insurance. I don't need it. I'm not getting sick. I don't go to any doctors, actually. I don't need it. I'm my own doctor. I'm my own healer. Also with my massage therapist background, and also with the free movement expression research and the techniques that I'm offering, the service that I'm offering to you guys. If you have your diet straight, if you have your movement straight, if you have your sleep, rest and stress management and emotional management, then you are set for life. You don't need anything. So all the fear-based, all the lower emotions, all the lower frequencies-based actions that government is manipulating, basically, because there is constant fear of, you're gonna get sick, we will not have enough money to go to the hospitals, and then still everybody is complaining about how, at least in Poland, right, like how the national, it's Europe, so this is like the public. What they call it? I forgot even. I'm not using this for many, many years. Public health system, right? Let's call it that way. So how public health system is completely not good, and so then I'm like, okay, another conclusion, another cause. People feel like they need to be going to the doctor because this is what they've been told, especially the older you get. But I see even young people my age, people younger than me, and I will be turning 30 in more or less 1 month. They constantly go to the doctors and they are asking for the advices, and then I come to a person that has the DR letters before their very names, and I see them sick. I see them unhealthy. So who is this person to give me an advice on health? It's all business. So this is the business, basically. This is the business. This kind of business, right? This kind of exploitative business that is only caring about the profits, not caring about the real value that they are giving to people. So watch out. See always who is paying for some research, because if some big food concern is going to tell you that the research has been made and it's confirming that white sugar is good for your health, maybe you should ask a question: who sponsored this research, right? Because if the Coca-Cola or something like this, right, like any kind of like this company will tell you that they did this research, who is really benefiting from this, right? Like, they don't care about you. Like, get out of this story. Nobody cares about you except yourself, Nobody cares, no government, no concern, no company will ever take care of you, or really care about you, right? Like, they care about their profit and they care about selling their products. That's it. All the cosmetics also, like, oh my god, like, also this, if it comes to connection with the nature, it is not only what you eat here with your mouth, like your skin is the biggest organ. Like, it is also eating. So whatever you put on your skin, it is being absorbed to your system. So all the cosmetics, that's a big story. Like, literally, if you haven't gone yet through your let's say eco health, holistic health metamorphosis, you should give makeover to your closet, to your cabinet in the bathroom, also the kitchen things, also all the things that you are using to cleaning your house, all the chemical products that you are using to wash your clothes. This should all go out and should be replaced by natural options. And there are plenty of soaps available that are just with very simple ingredients. This is another big help and something that is bringing you closer to your natural instincts. Okay, I think it's last question. Why do you think modern life has disconnected us? Oh no, this is what I... Oh, okay, that's the same... Okay, that's the same question. Okay, so if you have any more questions, then the time is now to ask them also. Otherwise, these topics are like live. You can go on and go on and go on. So I really hope that this live left you with useful information, and I think next week I should talk about the food and how to really approach it, because this is something that I'm also researching a lot. This is part of embodiment, of holistic well-being embodiment. This is like one of the bases. So really it completely deserves separate lives, if not more. So thank you very much for joining here today for this topic, for this live. Nature is just powerful. So if I want to wrap it up in one sentence, go for a walk and take off your shoes, ideally. So if you want to take out something from this, just start right away and go for a walk, and really, without your phone, just go and be with the nature, be with the trees, be with the plants, and really enjoy it. So, if you want to start your embodiment journey, the easiest way to do it is to start your journey with free movement expression. The movement is the base of a conscious movement, is the base of how you can start to really embody holistic well-being lifestyle. This is such a powerful tool. This is a tool that I will guide you through how to relax through the movement, how to start to energize yourself harmoniously without getting exhausted, so without exhausting your adrenals, so without getting stressed during exercising. This is what might happen in the gym or any kind of environments that are supporting this kind of stressful ambient. Free movement expression is the way. It is going to completely revolutionize your life and your energy levels. This is a movement meditation, so you are moving and you are meditating in the same time. You are learning to observe your body. You are getting in touch with your body. You are expanding your sensory capacity. This is literally the tool to start your embodiment journey, and I am offering the drop-in classes, and as well you can join the membership, which is the best thing you can do for yourself. This is the best thing you can still do in this year 2024. We have literally 1 month to go. So if you want to enter your new era of 2025 with the revitalized, rejuvenated energy, and if you want to start your journey to your new vital elevated self, start your journey, go to the membership. And if you're still hesitating, then schedule a free discovery call with me. I will be delighted to answer your questions, and then consult with you exactly what is the best for you, because remember, your holistic well-being embodiment journey is your individual journey, and you should be following your intuition and what feels right for you. Thank you very much. Blessings, and I see you next time. Bye bye.